So let's solve this question. Here you can see there are four processes are there, P1, P2, P3, P4, and arrival time are written as 0025. Burst time is 3215. IO time is 2432. Burst time is 2121. Okay. So here IO time is also given. So in the question, they have asked you to draw the Gantt chart and you have to apply SRTF algorithm, shortest remaining time first. We have already solved one similar type of questions. So let's solve this question also. So you see here, at time 0 seconds, two processes have arrived. So we have available process as P1 and P2 at time 0 seconds. Okay. Now you see, since it's SRTF algorithm, so CPU will be given to the process which has lower burst time. So here you can see CPU will be given to process P2 because process P2 has lower burst time. The burst time of process P2 is 2 seconds, which is less than the process 1's burst time, 3 seconds. Okay. So CPU will be given to process P2. So here I will write process P2. Okay. And moreover, one thing is that if the processes arrive at the same time, then you just simply apply shortest job first algorithm. It means what? Non-preemptive version. Okay. At least for these two processes. Because these two processes have arrived simultaneously. Fine. So you see, process P2 will run for 2 seconds. Okay. So the burst process P2 will run for 2 seconds till the completion of its burst time. Fine. So what's the burst time left for process P2? 0 second. Okay. And also you can see that in this time at 2 second, process P3 has also arrived. Okay. So here I will write process P3. Okay. And also you can see that after completion of its first burst time, process P2 went for IO. Now process P2 will execute its IO till 4 seconds. Till 4 seconds means what? From 2 seconds till 4 seconds, process P2 will be busy with IO. It means what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From 2 seconds to 6 seconds. Okay. Process P2 will be busy with IO up to this point. Okay. Although process P2 is busy with IO, CPU can be given to other process also. Okay. So let's see. We have three processes available: P1, P2, P3. Although P2 has completed its first IO, now P2 has completed its first burst time. Now P2 is busy with IO. So here CPU can't be given to P2. After the finishing of its IO, CPU will be given to P2 again for its third burst time. Okay. So now we have to check. So now just forget about P2. Okay. So we have to check among P1 and P3, CPU will be given to which process. So let's see. The burst time of P1 is 3 seconds and the burst time of P3 is 1 second. So definitely CPU will be given to process P3. So here I will write P3. Fine. And also you can see its burst time is only 1 second. So P3 will completely run for 1 second from 2 to 3. So now first burst time of P3 is over. Okay. So now you see, yes, and after the completion of its burst time, so P3 will execute its IO for 3 seconds. It means what? From this point, P3 will execute its IO for 3 seconds. It means what? From 3 to 6 second, P3 will be busy with IO. So here I write from 3 to 6 seconds, it will be P3's IO. Okay, so P3 has completed its first burst time. Now P3 is busy with IO. So here I am removing P3. Okay, now you see at third second, any process has arrived? No, because you can see that P4 has arrived at 5th second. So at third second, none of the processes are there. So it's yes, we have only one available process at third second, P1. Okay, because P1 already arrived at 0th second. Okay, so now CPU will be given to process P1. Fine. So here I will write process P1. And you see, after running for 2 seconds, it means what? From 3 to 5. After running for 2 seconds, you can see process P4 has arrived. When P3 ran for 3 to 5th second, at the 5th second process P4 arrived. So here process P4 is also available. Okay. And you see that process P1 has ran for 2 seconds. So how many seconds left for process P1? 3 minus 2, 1. Fine. And now you see among P1 and P4, P1 and P4, CPU should be given to which process? So here you can see that the burst time of process P4 is 2. Okay. The burst time of process P4 is 2 and the burst time and the remaining burst time of process P1 is 1. Fine. So it's better that CPU should remain with P1 because P1's burst time, remaining burst time is less than P4's burst time, which is 2. Okay. So here CPU will remain with P1. So here there will be no context switching. Okay. And now 1 second was left. So P1 will execute its 1 second. Okay. So here I am removing this. No need to write this because there is no context switching at all. Fine. So it means what? Process P1 has finished its first burst time. So it will be like, here I will write 0. Okay. So now here you see till 0 to 6 seconds, P1 is done, P1 first time. Till 0 to 6 seconds, you see how many processes are available. You see process P4 is available because process P4 arrived at 5th second. At this point of time, process P4 arrived. Okay. So process P4 is there. And also you can see that process P2 and process P3 has completed its IO at 6th second. It means what? Both process P2 and P3 are ready to run again with the CPU. Okay. And also moreover that after the completion of its first burst time, process P1 will be busy with its IO for 2 seconds. Okay. So here process P1 will be busy with IO till 6 to 8 seconds. So here I write 8. Till 6 to 8 seconds. Fine. Now you see, here I write P1 IO. So now you see at 6th second, you see we have process P4 and process P2 has already finished its IO. So now process P2 will try to run. So here I will write process P2 and also process P3 has also completed its IO. Here you can see. So here I will write process P3. Okay. So now you see we have 3 processes are ready to run. Okay. So CPU should be given to which process? You see here process P2 has last burst time of 1 second. Okay. Don't see this because process P2 has already executed its IO. And also process P3 has last burst time of 2 seconds. Okay. Process P2 and P3 have already completed their IO. So don't look at this part, IO part. And now process P1 is yet to start its first burst time. So 2 seconds is left for process P4. Sorry, process P4. You see, process P4 has not even started its first burst time. Okay. So now CPU will be given to process P2 as it has the lowest burst time. So here I will write process P2. Okay. Yes. So here you see process P2 will run for 1 second. Okay. So at 6 to 7, P2's task is over. Okay. So here this is 0. Fine. Now P2's job is done. P2 has completed its total part, burst time, IO, and again burst time. So here I am removing P2. Now we have process P4 and process P3. So CPU will be given to process P3. Okay. So here I will write process P3. And you can see 2 seconds are left for process P3. Okay. So here you see if process P3 ran for 1 second from 7 to 8. Okay. From 7 to 8 process P3 ran. So at this time the IO of process P1 has finished. The IO of process P1 has finished. So process P1 is also available here. Okay. Now P1 is ready to run its last burst time. Okay. So process P1's burst time left is 2 seconds. This one. But here you see a CPU will be given to which process? Process P3 or process P1 or process P4? Because all these processes has 2 seconds left. Not 2 seconds. You see process P3 has ran for 1 second. So process P3 has 1 second left. Okay, so be careful because process P3 already ran for 7 to 8. So process P3 has 1 second left. Process P1 has 2 seconds left and process P4 has 2 seconds left. Okay. So definitely CPU will remain with process P3. Okay. So here CPU will remain with process P3. There will be no context switching at this point. So only 1 second is left. So process P3 will fully execute for 1 second. Okay. So now process P3 is done. Okay. So here I just write P3. No need to write 2 times. Fine. So process P3 is done. So now we have 2 processes, process P1 and process P4. Process P1 and process P4. Okay. So process P1's last burst time is left, but process P4 is yet to execute its first burst time. Okay. But anyway, CPU will be given to that process which has lower burst time. But here you can see both process P1 and process P4 has the same burst time. So in order to break the tie, what you have to do, what I told you in the previous lecture, when the burst time are same, then what you have to do, you just select a process with earliest arrival time. So here you can see among process P1 and process P2, process P1 arrived early, process P1 and process P4. Process P1 arrived earlier than process P4. Okay. So now CPU will be given to process P1. So here I will write process P1. Okay. So process P1 will run for 2 seconds. 9 to 11. So now process P1 is also done. Okay. So now process P1 has also completed its part. Burst time, IO, burst time, all the three parts have completed for process P1. Now process P4 is left. So now it's very simple. Now process P4 will execute its first burst time. Now here you have to now here you don't have to think too much, because it's only one process is left. So process P4 will run for 2 seconds, 11 to 13. Fine. After that, process P4 will be busy with its IO for 2 seconds, 13 to 15. Here process P4 will busy with its IO. Okay. And now after the finishing of its IO, again process CPU will be given to process P4. So remaining 1 second. Okay. So this is the Gantt chart. Okay. So here you see it's an idle time. Here CPU is not given to any process, because here process P4 was executing its CPU. Again process P4 went to execute its IO. So while process P4 is executing its IO, so on that same time process P4 can't be CPU can't be given to process P4. Okay, because process P4 is executing its IO. So process P4 can't execute two things simultaneously, IO as well as CPU. Fine. So that's why here CPU is idle. Okay. So if they ask you to find out the percentage of time that CPU remains idle, it's simply, you see, till 0 to 16 seconds only, you see 15 minus 13, 2 seconds idle, means 2 by 16 into 100. I don't know whether my calculation is correct or not. So CPU idle time is 2 at the 16, 4 to 8, 420, 12.5%. Okay, it's correct. Okay, so I hope you got it. You see, these questions are not very tough, but the probability of mistakes are higher in these questions. Although question is easy, because here you have to keep track of lot of things like first burst time, again there is IO, then second burst time. Okay, so there is a chance that you should mix up with all IO time and burst time. So just be careful while solving these type of questions. Okay. Okay, so let's solve another question.